Louisiana. Come on, let's go.
Getting blues, kids and talking, baby. Talking, baby, all night long.
Let's go now.
Wanna hear some hands clapping, blues yapping. Get out that wall. Let's have a ball. Well, move it to the right, move it to the left. Don't see dope on west and soul. Last two steps. Blues, kids and talking, baby. Talking, baby, all night long. Let's have a ball. Well.
I muted it so that we could hear your song. I'm so excited to have Brei Carter in the studio. This is one of Uncle's tribes. Loving it, loving it. Blending the family, expanding the roots. Some Louisiana Southern soul in the house for you. How long have you been performing?
I've been performing full-time music for probably 8-9 years, but I've been singing since I was a little girl in church choir. Grew up in Louisiana, and music has always just been a part of me. So yeah, I'm here and I'm here for it. So some say country, but I say more country soul. Got a little gospel going on in there. I love a little bit of rock and roll, but primarily I'd say I'm country soul. Just to the heart of what we are, just the soul in us.
Absolutely. And it's awesome that I've noticed such a repetitive thing. Almost, I would say probably 80% of the artists that get on here, when I ask them how long they've been performing and what got them started in music, like between 80 and 90% of them always say church. And I absolutely, it smells my heart when I hear that, because that's, I mean, where music came from to start with. Awesome.
Sure.
Awesome. So what inspired you to become a songwriter?
Just since I was little, just writing. It started out writing poems and short stories to God and what have you. And then that kind of just led to writing songs. But I like to say I'm more of a lyricist, because I can write them, but I don't always hear the melody as much. So sometimes there are collaborations that take place just so it can all come together just right.
Did you find a level of difficulty when you went from the transformation of doing poetry to doing lyrics and forming it into a song?
You know what? Not with country, because it's a story. We're all telling a story. And whether it's my story or someone else's story, I've just always been a fan of that. So I hadn't found that difficult at all, because even if it's a poem, that poem is weaving into a story, a love story or a story of heartache or hurt or whatever it is.
Can you tell us a story about the song that we just heard?
Yes, Boots Get to Talking. That's kind of like with my brother Electro. So initially he started writing the song, and then he was like, hey, I have this song for you. And it was probably 60% done. And I'm like, okay, I think you're right. This is my song. So we kind of tweaked it. I helped write on it as well. And then from there, it just said, hey, with the music element of it, we're like, hey, you know what? We got to put some Louisiana in it. You just got to have all of that in it. Kind of like gumbo. You get a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You put it all together and you just got something good and sweet. So we're not necessarily sweet, good and spicy, because I'm a spicy girl.
I was going to say, you can hear the hot sprinkled in there a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a spicy girl over here.
What is your favorite Southern dish?
My favorite Southern dish, I would say, would be hot water cornbread and some greens, honestly, some mustard greens, some hot water cornbread. I'm going to have some candy yams and some fried chicken. That's going to set it off just right.
You said I couldn't pick. I'm just going to give you the whole meal. That's
listen, the whole meal. I got to give it to you.
That was awesome. That's one of the only things that I miss about Florida is that, the food trucks would have those big old turkey legs. They'd have the fried gator, and then they always had the greens. I miss freaking greens. Like I do. I can't even lie about it. And
How do you not get greens? How do you not get greens where you are? How did you not get greens? I know you get gumbo there, don't you?
Girl,
You know
There's a
what?
lot of taco trucks. There's
Okay.
a lot of taco trucks. I honestly I mean, I spent a lot of years in entertainment myself, and I'm a hermit. I really don't go out of my house. Like, I cook my own food because I know where the dishes came from, type
For
thing.
sure.
Like,
Definitely. So listen, it's crawfish season now. So I can't wait. So you asked Southern food, Cajun food, whatever. I'm gonna add crawfish on that list too. So, and it's that time of year, baby. So I can't wait.
oh man, I went to New Orleans. I got to experience the 2016 floods. That were
Oh,
you
wow.
there?
I wasn't there during that time. I'd already relocated.
I was down there, and they sent an RV to come get me because they were like, "You don't come back on the train. Don't come back on
Wow.
the train." I was like, "That's cool. I can sleep on the way home and not feel like I'm gonna get shanked," because I really wanted that experience, but I'm glad that I had people with me because there's not. I mean, it's different. It's
It
different.
is.
Not.
And it's
I mean,
it's not
I was definite. I was less than minority on the train. Just so you know,
okay.
like,
Okay. It's not for the faint at heart, I tell you. Hey,
it was
it's
a
gotta be
beautiful
in you.
experience, though, and a lot of loving people. A beautiful
Awesome.
experience and a lot of loving people. It was a
Hey,
good experience, but I woke up on that 23-mile bridge, and I was looking at my friend's window, and I was like, "Oh, you have such a beautiful scenery. Look at all that water. It looks like a marsh, da 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 da." And then I open up my window and I realize that we're on a bridge that's just as narrow as the train is. And that's what I feel moving because we're stopped and there's water on both sides. I was not. And then to find out that it was supposed to flood, like, it was not a good idea for me to go back on the same route, because I would have probably, like, my mind would have exploded thinking that I was gonna not make it across the bridge or something. That's a big bridge. That's a
it is.
crazy thought that they could build something that could float a train. Like, there's nothing. It's just the track. Like, you look down
Mhm.
and it's water on both sides, and that's not a comforting feeling if you're not expecting to just wake up there.
So was that your first and only time?
I took the train from Dallas to I was supposed to be taking the train from Dallas to Peoria, Illinois, and I ended up on some detour that tried to take me like all the way to Des Moines. But I got off in St. Louis. I absolutely love the train ride because it shows you parts of the country that you don't get to see. It is so
For
beautiful.
sure.
Like, the untouched pieces of America are what you get to experience on the train. And
For
that's
sure.
worth, they keep it very, very cold. It's
Yeah.
very cold on the train. Have you traveled a lot for music? I know that you're in Nashville now. You were originally from Louisiana.
And I've lived in St. Louis for a while. I was in the military. But yeah, I've done some traveling. I was actually in New Orleans a few months ago for
Uh-oh. We lost you, girl. Unc says the party can stop because the old guys finally made it. I think she probably got a call, guys. She's on her phone. We are going to go ahead and take a second while she's trying to figure out how to come back to us and play a little bit of her music. We have Sipping on a Good Time.
Sipping on a good time, drinking that red wine, soaking up my tan line, got me feeling alright. I'm squeezing on a lemon lime, that boy is margarita fine. Gonna be a fun day down to the blender blade, yeah, we've got it made, sipping on a good time. Yeah, running through a payday.
We have Brei Carter in the house.
Whoop, whoop.
You found your way back to us.
Yes, I was looking. I'm like, wait a minute, where did I go? So yeah, I'm back.
So you have, first off, thank you for your service, served our country, traveled back to, I grew up on the Iowa, Illinois, Missouri border. So like right there between three of those. Pretty cool area. I'm looking for, wrong screen, trying to get this old guy comment off of our feed. Unc has arrived. He said the party can start now.
I know it. Hey, Unc, we already started the party. We started without you, but we're happy that you're here now.
I absolutely adore him and everything he stands for. It takes a lot to just be yourself in a world that wants you to be somebody.
For sure. And I love that he doesn't care, that he is authentic and he is himself. So, and he definitely encourages that with me and everyone else. So that's something special that you don't get. And, because it seems like the world wants you to put you in a box, and it's better not being in a box than just being unapologetically who you are.
Not saying that some of us still need a little molding, but yes, we have to be our own authentic selves and be able to accept others for that. I mean, that's really where our world has gone kind of crazy is, we're judging other people for just being people instead of loving them through it. And I mean, the whole world could be cured with love. I absolutely believe it. Just accepting someone for who they are and where they're at is like a huge deal. I just played Sipping on a Good Time. You want to tell us a little bit about that song?
That's right. Sipping on a Good Time. It's about having a good time. You heard the fiddle, the pedal still in there. This girl loves the fiddle in her music. So it's just about having a good time. So you're sipping on life and having a good time with your friends, with your family, and making the most of every moment. And that's what it's about.
Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with Music Row and the singles you've worked on with them?
Oh yeah, Music Row is they're definitely amazing. Mr. Robert K. Orman, he's actually done some write-ups on some of my music, which is definitely an honor because he doesn't have to, and he chooses the songs, and he's definitely going to give his honest opinion about the music and what have you. But no, Music Row has been great. I have absolutely no complaints. I'm thankful and grateful. I mean, it's a part of the journey, and to be able to chart on Music Row's on their chart, it says a whole hell of a lot, honestly.
So you're a fan of Charley Pride. Can you tell us about Kiss an Angel Good Morning?
Oh, yes. Grew up listening to the late Mr. Charley Pride. My dad used to play the music, play his songs and other country artist songs. And when I decided to remake the song and just kind of bring a little modern touch to it, I was hoping that I'd actually get a chance to someday be on stage and sing it with him. But by the time I released it and all of that, unfortunately, he had passed. So we never got a chance to hear it. But what brings joy to me is the fact that his wife, Mrs. Pride, she heard the song, she loved it. Obviously not the same as his because he did it best, but she definitely gave her nod of approval to my version of it. And in addition to that, I got the authorization to actually be able to use some of his footage in my video of Kiss an Angel Good Morning. And I actually shot that also with my parents being in the video. So yeah, that was pretty amazing.
That's actually a really beautiful story, and kind of like what Unc kind of stands about bringing, using things cannot grow without the roots. So keeping the roots alive is important.
Agreed.
And, bringing some of the roots back is important, and being able to do that and still be unique to yourself is a beautiful thing. And then to be supported by the people that, inspired you is even,
Yes.
I mean, that's like doing a full circle right in front of your eyes. And so that's awesome.
Definitely. I like to say God gives you what you need when you need it, and just the right people. And even with Uncle Rhino coming in the picture, and it's like I've known him, it feels like I've known him my entire life because he really is like family. And I can't wait till you guys someday hear the things that we're working on. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to actually get in the studio and get that stuff done and let you guys hear it.
He is doing so much with so many artists. I know that he has our champion on air with him tomorrow night on the other half of the tribe, Turn Up Tribe Tuesdays, with Unc on Patriots Inside the Wire. I don't know if you have scheduled an interview with them yet or not, but definitely do that because
For
you
sure.
definitely qualify. And so he has also Billy Ray Cyrus is going to be on.
Yes.
So if you guys are listening, make sure you follow Patriots Inside the Wire. Tune in tomorrow night. Check out Howard County and Billy Ray Cyrus are going to be hanging out with Unc, and you're going to hear lots of more awesome Unc stories and music stories and stories about, you know, the roots and bringing the roots back. It's just it's absolutely crazy out here. Absolutely crazy out here. So many people are like, there's no real country music anymore. And it's not that there's not, it's just that they're still chasing the machine and not the independent artists making the real country music. So
For sure. For
not
sure.
real country music. Got one right here on air with us and spitting out some awesome soulful songs. What would you say out of all the songs you've written is your favorite story?
Honestly, there's so many. The last song that you're going to play, The Country Lives in Me, that's my story. And it's so vivid. You can see how I grew up in Louisiana with dragonflies and just being on the porch and church, God. And no matter where I go, the country, it's always going to be in me. I can be in the city, I can be in another country somewhere. But like you just said, the roots, it's in me. It's who I am. And I honestly, I wouldn't, as crazy as things are today, I still wouldn't trade it for the world.
Right. Have you ever seen a baby dragonfly?
That's a good question. I've just seen a ton of them. I don't know if I've actually seen a baby dragonfly.
They're creepy looking. They
Well,
are.
I don't think I want to
They
see it.
don't
If it's
have
creepy looking,
wings. They don't have wings. You wouldn't, I mean, you could kind of, because of the way their eyes and then those front arms are, but they're like you're going to have to look it up. You wouldn't expect it.
you know what, Cynthia, I'm going to pass on that one. I'm going to just keep my vivid memory that's of all the different beautiful colors of the dragonflies. I'm going to leave it like that. I don't need to see the little babies if they're looking like that. I don't want to be traumatized.
There are a lot of because I did outdoor sales for a corporation, and so I've been around a lot of like the East Coast and Midwest, and the Southeast absolutely has a lot of dragonflies. Like North Carolina had tons of dragonflies, and hummingbirds were outrageous out there. There was I remember seeing like 5 different species of woodpeckers and just in Raleigh. It was wild.
I love it.
Right. To be able to experience nature. I think it's just because there are lots of areas of land that can't be developed. So nature still exists more in those areas, and it's why they're still rampant.
No, I love it. I love hummingbirds too. They're just so beautiful. So many beautiful creatures.
So we have a question from a fan, a listener, and I don't know if this is going to throw you under the bus or not, but how do you feel about Al Green and his rendition of Amazing Grace?
Oh, the wonderful thing about music is it's up to interpretation. Everything is interpretation. So if Al Green hears it or feels it a certain way and he does it that way, hey, so be it. Because when it comes to God, it's about a relationship. It's not about religion. So that's his version, his rendition. I don't have anything to say. Some people love it. Some people may not like it. But that's the wonderful thing. We have ears. We listen to the things we want to. We don't listen to the things we don't. I hope that answered the question.
Amen on that. Absolutely. Here's a random.
Wait, speaking of Al Green, I got to just say it, throw it out there. So I actually I didn't do it like Al Green for the good times. I did for the good times, the old Ray Price version. I actually have that on my last album, Brand New Country, for the good times. So you guys should take a listen. So it's more of that traditional country feel to it.
Heck yeah. I that might have actually been one of the other questions down here. So this one might seem random to people who don't have a background of Brei, and man, controversial question. Do you feel that pita and hummus are a threat to the American cuisine?
Do I say one more time?
Do you feel that pita and hummus are a threat to the American cuisine, like the food? It was a wild question. We can
I
pass
guess I'm
on
not
that one.
necessarily understanding the question how it could be a threat. Pita bread and hummus? What are you saying?
That's how it's like written. I have no idea. Again, was not a question from me.
I can't hear
I
you.
tried. You can't hear me? Can you still hear me? Uh-oh. Can you hear me now? You guys can find her at BreiCarterMusic.com. I'm going to go ahead and put that up here. Can you hear me, Brei? It's actually just BreiCarter.com. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Like, girl, I told you before we even started this, the devil don't want me to win. We got all sorts of technical difficulties going on, but it's been a good time. I just put your website up here. I'm going to scroll it across the bottom. I had to make sure, yes, that I spelled your name right. It's Brei Carter. Yes. And your website looks absolutely beautiful. She
Thank
has
you.
Music is Medicine. You can find her lives, her music, her videos. You can find her news clips. You can go find her merch. You can find a lot of stuff on healing, mental health. That's a big one for me and our organization for sure. I mean, the fact that we just classified PTSD as a thing in 2001, and I mean, mental health is big and knowledge is power, and there's tons of it for free, but we've been told that we had to pay for that to earn it or whatever. I don't know how that goes, but look up Brei if you are struggling with mental health. She has a lot of articles in her blog section about music being medicine. And do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah,
What you're
mental
doing?
health is for sure. Mental health is just so important, and I've been in the medical field for a while, also in addition to music. And I just think that people need to know that they're not alone. There are different outlets, and music definitely is a form of therapy that can make a difference in a lot of lives. So it's just one more outlet that you do have, in addition to knowing that you're not alone. You know, some people may need medicine, some don't, but there is music therapy where studies have proven that music can help heal.
It truly can. I have seen it help so many people, like physically help so many people. We have, an artist who, and I'm not even going to say, but they came up to me after a show and was like, Cynthia, I've never seen my child so like open and free. Like, she doesn't like to go in public and she usually shuts down. And he was like that, she's 12. I've never seen her so happy and just enjoying life. And it was beautiful. And it was because she felt, she was out in a park and we were playing music in the park, and it was the music. Like, the music brings people together, and it does. It has a universal language. I mean, if you're listening to a song, even if it's in Greek, you can tell whether it's happy or sad or loving or longing, or you can feel the song without knowing the words every time.
Definitely.
I used to, when my kids were babies, I have always worked for myself and around my kids. And so I delivered newspapers at night, and I would always have my car playing classical music while I was doing. But there are some classical songs that Cynthia cannot jam to because they're too angry and they don't even have words. They're just too angry. My brain is like, shut it off. So music is that, music and comedy. We do it the second Saturday of every month. I know you said that you might try to sneak down to that. It's been such a beautiful experience. And it was so crazy to me because there's occasionally I'm conflicted on what I'm doing because of where I stand, personally. And then I'm like, then you have comedy, and sometimes it can go really, really comedy. And I'm like, is this what you should be doing? And like this month, it was so cool that people recognize that that's where I stood. And the last 2 months in a row, we have brought up God and Jesus during comedy, which was really, and it wasn't like in a nasty, like, it was just so awesome the way it just came out. It was really cool. And so music, laughter, best medicine. If you need a dose, go find Brei Carter. Have you any music accomplishments you want to talk about? Any fun upcoming shows that you want people to know about?
Yeah, we got the CMA Fest coming up soon, so still waiting to find out about that. But anytime you're around Nashville, look me up, check out my website, and upcoming shows are typically put there. And hey, I'm just waiting to see what God has for me, and I'm out here working. Got a lot of trail rides and rodeos that it's that time of year again. So I will be making my way around the country with that as well.
That's exciting. I have this vision. Let me throw it out here and probably have somebody come along and think they can do it better than Cynthia. I want to have like 100-acre piece of property that's basically like Disney for music and comedy, and just, have that oasis where our entertainers can just go woosah. Like if your Monday is too much of a Monday this weekend, just go to the barn. Like because I firmly believe that if our entertainment is struggling, our world is struggling, and we have to have that place to unwind. Like we're city. Like music has been somebody deemed that the only place that it's good for is either in a church or in a bar, and it really needs to be back in our parks and our streets and the everywhere places people need to hear it. And so thank you for doing your part in that. Thank you for your service. I'm excited. So I want to have like a rodeo ground out there. And I think that, and if you're listening and you're hosting a rodeo, I don't care how small it is, like $300, you can get an acoustic artist to play. They'll play for 30 minutes before while everybody's getting in the bleachers. They'll sing the national anthem for you.
Yes, we do that. We do that.
Hang out and entertain your crowd and do meet and greets through the whole rodeo and sign autographs and keep people in the stands, and then do a little 2-hour set afterwards or an hour set afterwards and just jam out with your people. Instead of the radio, will you please support a local artist, please?
Yes.
That needs to start happening again. I remember growing up in rodeos, and there wasn't ever a rodeo that we didn't have country music. And I've been to a couple of rodeos here recently, and I didn't hear no country music. And that ain't the way the world's supposed to turn. It's not.
Not at all.
So rodeos, I'm glad that you get to go do that. I miss that life. That's some hard work and a lot of traveling.
But
so besides Army and medical and music and what other accomplishments? I mean, what else are you working on now? Are you just focusing on music?
Music is the big thing, and honestly, and taking care of family. So those are the things that keeping my faith strong, music, and taking care of family. That's kind of what I'm really working on right now, and just trying to be a better human out here and make sure that I'm giving back and doing whatever I can to make the world a better place for someone else.
Absolutely beautiful story. Thank you for coming on here and sharing your light with us. And
thanks for having me, Cynthia.
And if you were to give one word of advice to a songwriter who maybe just decided to go on this journey, maybe something you wish you knew when you started, what would that be?
I don't think there's anything that I wish I would have known, but the word that I would say is faith. Keep the faith no matter what. And I would say believe in yourself. At the end of the day, your journey is your journey. It's not supposed to look like someone else's. Don't look at what other people are doing and base your success on someone else's. Just stay true to the path, the course that you're on. And you may have to do some pivots and some turns and what have you, or maybe some backtracking from time to time, but stay true to you and just don't give up. So keep the faith, and keep the faith in God, and believe in who you are.
Absolutely. And I tell people that every once in a while, sometimes I'm stubborn. So I know that God literally physically has to make me sick to get me to sit down and stop and listen. And I'm getting better at that. Dang it, Cynthia. We are going to listen to your last song. I was going to say something important about that. Oh, so I have learned, and one of the quotes that I tell people all the time is that a lot of times you have to think of life like in perspective to different things. So in order for an arrow to hit its target, it has to be drawn back so that it can focus and aim. And sometimes in life, we're going too fast and we have to sit down and focus on our aim. And so that sometimes going backwards is not necessarily going backwards.
For sure.
Just the pause you need so that you can redirect. We're going to listen to Country Lives in Me. We're going to let Brei get on about her night. Make sure you go check her out, grab the merch, go spin her songs on Spotify, follow her, and y'all have a good night.
You as well. Love you, Cynthia. Texas Brew Radio.
Willow trees and porch swing laundry drying in the honeysuckle breeze. Jumping rope in rhythm to the rhymes we made up. We were so carefree. Friday sins got washed away. Every Sunday when we pray, Amazing Grace still lives in my dreams. Now my song is a simple southern soundtrack of my life. By the bayou where the summer days flew by, there were pink mimosa trees and I would climb to touch the sky. And the blue-green dress